Ilaisa, how's the week gone? How's the morale of your defensive unit?
The week's gone well. The practice gone well. I mean, obviously we're down in wins, but trying to stay high in spirits and prepping for this game. I mean, every game matters for us right now.
Are you happy with the response from the last 2 weeks compared to East Carolina last week?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we ever didn't play hard. We played harder. We played hard in all the games. It's just I feel like we played a little bit better. Obviously, there's issues still. There's holes. There are things that happen in the game that we've got to sew up. But all the way to the end of the game, again, there's always a belief that we can still pull these games off and win. And it's definitely getting effort.
Tackling seems like you shored up a little bit. What would you say are some of the issues that remain?
I would still say tackling and just shape. Sometimes keeping. There's a certain shape to every coverage, every defense, whether it's a pressure or whether it's cover 2, cover 1, cover 3, quarters. There's a certain shape that a defense has, and sometimes when you're playing with guys that don't have as much experience, you lose the shape of that a little bit faster than you normally want to or would if you had experienced guys. And so I think that ended up costing us too many big runs, felt like. But we've got to continue to just shore up tackling and just keep shape and keep working.
Did any of those guys that didn't play, will they be back? Max Tooley or Peyton Logar? Will you get either of those?
I don't know if Galani talks about injuries or any of that stuff. I mean, those guys aren't practicing right now.
They're not?
No.
Okay. What about Chaz? Is he practicing?
I don't know if I'm talking about injuries or not.
He just tells us if something's season-ending, basically.
Oh, okay.
So, are any of those guys season-ending injuries?
I don't know that.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
When guys are bouncing runs off of you, do you attribute that mostly to the shape of the defense, like you talked about, or do you think that's tackling? What do you think?
It's both. Yeah, it's both. I mean, you gotta shore up the tackles. You'd like for tackles to be multiple people showing up at the point of contact, and sometimes it's a shape, pursuit. It's the guy that makes first contact. All those things just need to be sewn up.
You're doing the defensive line. Is Preston Hadley still doing defensive ends?
He's moved. We moved him to help out with the safeties.
Okay.
Yep.
So your sole responsibility is defensive line?
Yeah, and I've got a couple of analysts and grad assistants helping out with that.
Is Ed Lamb also on the safeties?
What's that?
Is Ed Lamb also on the safeties? Right?
Yeah, and Ed obviously is a special teams coordinator, and with Galani helping out with the defense and just kind of doing what he's doing. Ed's just taking a kind of an overview, role as well, and so there's a lot that goes on his plate as well.
What do you want to see the defensive line improve now that you're taking over and put more emphasis on?
I mean, I don't know if you can ever really just say one thing. I mean, there's always things to improve. There's always, when you guys are watching it from home, you don't see some of the details of just what happened in the play. And sometimes a D lineman plays really well and a run gets out, and the D lineman gets blamed for it. And sometimes a D lineman doesn't do his job. And so we've got to, everybody's got to do their job. Everybody's got to, bring production to the team. And so we've got to continue to just keep playing better.
Ilaisa Tuiaki told me the other day he's going to come back for another year. Is that good news for you? And what does he kind of bring to the year?
Yeah, no. Anytime that you get experience, it's huge. Especially, I mean, we're going into a conference that is going to be tough to play in, and he's played for us for these past few years, and so that kind of experience. And just his physicality and what he's brought, also just being a culture guy and a great fit for us. It's always huge when you get guys come back.
I'll ask a couple questions. Have you noticed anything differently that you weren't seeing up in the press box now being down on the field? Have you noticed anything that you've gleaned in terms of defensive line play at all that stands out to you?
No, it's really difficult. It's really difficult to see the game live while it's going. I mean, you kind of have an understanding of how things fit up And when there's holes or things happen, you can attribute it to, okay, it was this person or this or whatever shape or this gap or that. And you know that, and then when you come back and you watch film, you have a little bit better idea of whether you were right or wrong in the moment. But I wouldn't say anything about that.
How big of a challenge will Taylon Green, their quarterback, be, especially for a team that hasn't had a sack for quite a while?
Yeah, I mean, sacks are earned on first and second down. We played this last game at least, right? We played 20 first downs and only played 8 third downs, and so felt like stopping the run was a little bit more of an issue. Getting some more disruption on first and second down is gonna allow us more opportunity for sacks. Now, sacks against this kid and really the scheme that you face. I mean, last week there weren't very many opportunities because they get the ball out and they get it out fast. And it would have been the same with some of the other teams that we've faced. But this team coming up, and they do a good job getting rid of the ball. They do a good job with just him just running, right? And he's a mobile quarterback. And so, I'd imagine with the way that they've gone, they're going to be a team that wants to run the ball and establish that and play great defense, and the quarterback is part of that. And so we need to stop the run first before we start talking about rushing the passer on third down. But we also got to get into that situation, which this last game we didn't do a good enough job getting into that situation.
When they made that change about a month ago, that brought in the new coordinator, the new quarterback, all that stuff, did they change up a whole bunch of stuff, or were they kind of running? Are they just sort of running sort of the same scheme that they were, but better maybe?
To be honest with you, all of our breakdowns really just got since Dirk Cutter's been the coordinator, and so it's been the last 4 games, and so that's normally what goes into your breakdown is the last 4 games, and it's really just been the ones that he's coordinated. So I haven't looked back to what they were doing before that, to be honest with you, and really those are the 4 games that he's done is the ones that is more relevant to us.
All right, thanks, Coach.
All right.